Perfect. All right. Anytime he starts talking Texas crap, that's a flag every time, right? Because Bryce, what you don't know is she's an OU fan.
Oh my gosh! You know what? Let's turn it off. Cut it. We got to find someone else.
Welcome back to the Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. I am back with the frenemy, Mr. Bryce Pinson. And if you love college football, you are definitely in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button. Make sure to like our videos and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of the Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. Mr. Bryce Pinson.
Let me tell you something, Jason.
Last week.
Let me tell you something, bro.
Oh, goody.
I am so excited today. And for good reason, you know. We've been needing a referee to shut you down and call a few fouls and penalties on you for a while. And we got one today. Tonya's here to keep you in line. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
Someone needs to keep you in line.
You realize that I'm the one that brought her on. It wasn't for me, it was for you.
Oh, I think you realize, you know what, that's what people do. That's what people do when they realize they have a problem. Is they go out and they get help. You're good at that. Good for you. The first step is realizing you have a problem, Jason.
The flag will come in no matter who it is. Perfect. All right. Anytime he starts talking Texas crap, that's a flag every time, right? Because Bryce, what you don't know is she's an OU fan.
Oh my gosh! You know what? Let's turn it off. Cut it. We got to find someone else.
A second ago, he was all happy about you being here. Now he finds out that
I get it now.
You like the good guys.
I get it now. I get why you got her. I get it. I didn't know. I get it.
All right. So today, this is our front seven college football picks. We're going to change it up a little bit this week. Me and Bryce have not done too well working together on these picks. We are a combined 5-9 in 2 weeks. So I'm just going to compete with him because I'm better that way. And Tanya's going to have her picks in here too as well. We'll throw those in at the end. But let's just go with. We're going to start off. I put up 12 games to choose from. You could pick any 12 you want, but what we want to do is see where we are at the end of it all. And again, the goal is still to be 60%. And I feel like probably more or less, and without us talking it out, I think we're probably going to end up in a lot of places in the same spot anyway, because both of us pick around 60% anyway on college football. So without having each other in each other's ear about whatever it is, maybe that's the problem.
Yeah,
I don't never pick with anybody else. So that's probably what was going on. But anyway, in any event, let's do it that way. And we're going to go with we had 12 games to pick from. We could have gone with Tulane at K-State, BYU at Oregon, Mississippi State at LSU, Texas Tech at NC State, Miami at A&M, Kansas at Houston, Penn State at Auburn, Michigan State at Washington, Florida State at Louisville, Fresno State at USC, South Alabama at UCLA, and then Purdue at Syracuse. So out of any of those, you could pick your best 7. We both did so, as did the new producer, Tonya Leachman. So let's see where we're at, Bryce. Go ahead with your first one. Who's your favorite?
So here's what I'm gonna put a little precautionary in there. I like 5 of these games, so I'm gonna give you 2 leans right off the bat. If you want to bet them, I don't love these first 2. I love my last 5. So I just want everyone to know that before we get started. So I'm going to tell you my first 2 that I don't love. And as we go on, mine are going to get progressively better on which ones I like more and more and more. But my first pick, I'm going to that South Alabama.
He's already hedging as.
Oh, shut up.
Go ahead.
That South Alabama UCLA game, whenever I was kind of looking into it, man, I did notice I really wanted to pick UCLA. And then I noticed that the quarterback was hurt. or might play, might not play. So then I wanted to bet South Alabama. And then I realized that it was all a bad idea. So what I did is I noticed that neither defense can stop anyone, and both offenses just absolutely have lit it up for 2 straight weeks. Give me the over of 59. Right. I'm going over.
Okay. Bryce on the over at 59. Okay. All right. So,
by the way, on the books right now it's 60.5, but your list gave me 59, so I took it.
Yeah, okay. Well, and it depends on which book you're looking at, because I think MGM is at 59.5 still. So
that's value.
Okay. Yeah. So my first bet, taking a look through here, I went with the first one I really looked at that I felt like strongest on is this Penn State at Auburn game. I know a lot of people are going to say Auburn, Jordan-Hare Stadium is probably one of the hardest places in the country to play. I think that offense is just junk. It hasn't done anything so far. Penn State plays good defense, and their offense kind of does their thing. I'll lay the 3 points and go with Penn State.
All right.
Yep.
Sweet.
Pick 2.
Pick number 2. I like this one a little better. You'll notice I'll start talking a little bit more because I start to like them a little bit better. I start to understand what's going on. I like this one a little better than the last one. And this is Texas Tech over NC State. I like the line, Texas Tech over NC State. So what I like about it is that last week I was on Texas Tech and I lost. I lost to Houston. But when I looked at what actually happened, I noticed that there was a drop touchdown pass and there were 2 missed field goals, and they only missed the spread by 1.
Well, they won the game in overtime, but they just didn't cover. Yeah,
they missed the spread by 1 point, and they dropped the touchdown and missed 2 field goals. You know what, dude? I feel like there's value in this line for that. I know people are high on NC State's defense. I'm aware, and one reason I wouldn't have bet this one, this is one that I'm just kind of leaning on. NC State's kind of good against the air raid. They're actually good. But when they played East Carolina, East Carolina's air raid gave them all they could handle, and Texas Tech does still run the air raid. So I like it. I'll take the line, Texas Tech.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you on this one. Actually, that's one of my picks as well. Tech, I hadn't been real sure what to think of them. They obviously played a cream puff in the first week, but Houston is, listen, they were everybody's pick in the American to come out, possibly have a chance to go to the playoff this year, like Cincinnati did a year ago. I think now it's obviously BYU is the one that you would expect, but Tech has kind of handled business, and yeah, you're right. They came out looking like trash last weekend, and still found a way to get it done in that game. And I think they ended up that they kind of squandered a big lead at some point, but they still won. And I think that going on the road, sometimes it can settle a team down a little bit because you're going into a hostile environment. They're going to get things. They're going to go real basic. I think that, and I like their team. If they don't turn the ball over a bunch, I think that 10 is a lot. It's not too much to cover. 10, that's 10, a nice number. Exactly. To me, I feel like this is a touchdown game, 6 to 7 points anyway. So getting an extra 4 points, I like this. I don't think that there's any doubt about it. And actually,
just tell me what
Tony
defense
was with us on that as well.
Sorry. She is? Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Tell me whose defense is better. We hear NC State's defense. Houston has a good defense too. You know what I'm saying? And Texas Tech was able to win that game. I feel like Houston might be better than NC State sometimes. They may not be, but it feels that way.
I think they might be. I don't know that they are. But I think they could be. Okay. In any event, I don't like. 10 points on a team that's 2-0 and liking their situation right now. I could see them at least being in the game. I don't know that they don't win, but I certainly think they get within 10. Okay, so my next pick out of the block. So been looking at this. I'm going to save this one for the end. The Purdue-Syracuse game, I really like this. I kind of went back and forth on it, looking at the number. I feel like Purdue wins this game, but the more I looked at it, the more I was kind of like you in that first game. I know for damn sure they've been lighting up the scoreboard, and so has Syracuse for the first 2 weeks of the season. And the over on it was The over-under on this game is 58.5. I think that they cruise over that number. So I picked the over on that one. I don't see any reason. I mean, I'm not positive that Purdue wins. I feel like they do, but I know that with Syracuse's new offensive coordinator, they are looking like a different team. I mean, we talked about it last week. They sucked, for years since Donovan McNabb was gone, really.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, here they go. They lit up Louisville. They had a big week again last week. I feel like this is an easy over. So
I like it.
Okay.
Tell you what,
Pick
I didn't
three.
even see that one on the list. I didn't even look at that game. But that's great. Anyway, pick three. Yeah, so my notes say, yeah, they lost, but ... Give me LSU after the loss on national television. Keyshawn Booty played last week. He caught a few balls, so he's not gone. They still have their All-American receiver. If you watch the game, they muffed 2 punts. They missed a kick, got a kick blocked, extra point. They did everything to lose that game, still almost won the game. I get it. Mississippi State has Mike Leach. I get it. They have a great quarterback. That quarterback is good.
But Mike Leach loses games. This doesn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
We're talking about LSU athletes here, and we're talking about a pissed-off LSU team. And I think they come in motivated, and I think they win this game. And I think they cover the spread.
I agree.
What is the spread there? I need to probably look at it.
It's surprising.
Don't they get points?
It's actually they're laying 2. Yeah,
they get 2 points.
LSU is getting 2 points. Yes.
Yeah,
so
they're winning the game.
And that's a swing. After the first week, it went from LSU was having to give up 3.5 until they lost that game to Florida State. I guess everybody thought they were just going to completely implode. And so now it's the other way. On the road in Baton Rouge, they're giving LSU points. I think that this is just set up for LSU to win it. Look, man, you're right on that. The one thing about it is this: Mississippi State is a good team. I think that they're a good team. I don't think that they have the talent anywhere close to the talent that LSU has. And I also like Brian Kelly more than most people do. So, again, I agree with you there. My next pick up off the board would be, let's see, I had LSU as well, so we'll go ahead and put that in there. Purdue Syracuse, I got that. Tech. Okay, so this Florida State Louisville game, I've been kind of going back and forth. We even had the dog picking yesterday. She went with the Noles. They're giving 2.5 on the road at Louisville. I still like them. I think that it as much as that game probably motivated LSU. I think that it gave FSU some confidence that they probably hadn't had since Jameis Winston left. So, to me, I feel like this is a good opportunity for them. They're going to go in and win this game. I don't like Louisville as much as obviously, they got smoked by Syracuse. I know that they're better than Syracuse. So, in my mind,
well, I will jump in there. I just want to say something, Jason. I listened to that whole game. I listened to it. And Louisville, in the first half of that UCF game, was a different team than they were in the second half. And that's why I really don't have a pick on this. I don't know what to do with it because I'm terrified of Louisville. You lose to Syracuse, you beat UCF. I don't even know what
they're a little weird. They are a little weird. I just feel like, I just feel like this is a situation where, in my mind, and in my mind, I think that was a big, as bad as it was for LSU, I think it was probably even more important for Florida State to win that because that means that Mike Norvell is kind of moving in the direction that they were hoping he might be. So that's just where I have it at this point.
I saw
Missy
that.
picked Florida State. That. Yeah, we had the paper.
So she's probably right. I was leaning.
Missy, you're going to pick a game, okay? Okay, hang on. Wait. Missy? Louisville or FSU? Pick one. Pick one. Louisville or FSU? Come on. Florida State.
Florida State? Yeah, I was leaning Florida State. Missy's probably right.
Yeah, why not? All right, next up for Bryce. Go ahead, Bryce.
All right, this one, it's one of those where when you look at it, you badly want to bet one way, but when you study, you realize that the value's on the other side. I like those games because that tells me that usually I'm on the same side as the sharps whenever I do that. But Michigan State, Washington, I don't like them. First game of the year, traveling 2,000 miles to Washington, playing in what kind of weather? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? The coach is even concerned about it. Yeah, and that quarterback's good. He's good. And on top of that, Jason, the coach was saying –
they're not even ranked.
Yeah, the coach was saying this, Jason. He was talking about how he was worried about the travel, and he was going to change some things to make sure they were ready for it. What I hear is the word change, and I know human beings don't like change.
Right.
I think that's more of a negative than a positive. I like Washington and that good quarterback against Michigan State covering the spread there. I think that's an easy pick.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
What is the spread?
It's another one that we're together.
I didn't write down the spread on any of these. I should have.
Washington is, I believe that Washington.
Yeah, negative
is,
3.5.
I got it right here.
They're the favorite.
Yeah.
Negative 3.5.
Yeah, they're the favorite, and they're not the ranked team. So they're not a ranked team. That tells you the sharps that are betting that way, that they believe in Washington. You're getting a lot more sharp action on the Huskies. I agree with you. I think that this is one of those tough places to play. Not a huge stadium, but it's kind of built the same way that the Seahawks Stadium is, and it's right on that water, and it gets rowdy around there. And I feel like this is, with the way that the Pac-12 situation is, I think if anything, if you're Washington, you need to show out a little bit here and show that you can deal with the Big Ten. Because if you want that invite or, to keep it alive on the Pac-12 side of it anyway, you need to win this game. I think that's an added incentive there as well. I like that pick as well a lot. Okay, my next one up, I've been looking at. Let's see. Let me go with. Yeah, I was with you on the LSU one, so I don't really have to talk about that. I will talk about UCLA a little bit. I went ahead and listen. I know that they got an injury there. I feel like he's going to play. And one thing I'm going to tell you is I feel like UCLA is very underrated. They started off the year not even being ranked. This is a team that went 8-4 a year ago, beat USC handily. A lot of people were beating USC, but they won a lot of big games. And Chip, the one thing you can say about Chip Kelly, he may not have gotten it done for very long in the NFL. The guy knows how to coach college football. They listen to what he's got to say, and his program has gotten stronger every year. I know they played Oklahoma 2 years ago, and you could tell they were behind, but it wasn't by much. And I feel like they've just gotten better. So to me, I feel like that's an easy. I know they're giving up 15.5, but South Alabama's got to travel all the way across the country. I feel like even if the backup has to play, he's not a bad player. He's going to be better than whatever they got at South Alabama. So I feel like this is at minimum probably a 3-touchdown win. 15.5, that's a no-brainer for me. I'm going with UCLA on that.
Okay.
So that gets us through 4 picks on each way. We got 3 more to go. Again, I went ahead and I am with you on let's see. I was already with you on the LSU.
LSU.
We already talked about that. We don't really have to
and
go any
Texas
further
Tech.
I talked about that one. Yeah. UCLA, we've talked about that plenty. Yeah. And then Texas Tech. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say a little more, but I think we've said enough there as well. So we'll go ahead with the last couple of them, and then we'll finish it off.
Yeah, you can recap all our picks at the end too, so they know that you did pick 7, I did pick 7, all that stuff. You might have to. All right, here we go. USC Fresno.
We'll throw it up on the screen.
Okay, USC Fresno. That's my it's my third favorite game. And Jason, I got to say, you convinced me on this. You're the reason I made this bet. And it's because you tell me that, yes, USC has a great offense, but they don't play any defense. And let me tell you something. Fresno has a great offense. This game is going to, the over-under 73. I'm not taking the over-under, but I am taking Fresno because I think the line's 13. It's 13. I could see this game being like a 10-point game. You know what I'm saying? Like 50-40 or 30-40. Listen, and I like Fresno.
but I gotta say,
Yeah.
I stayed away from that game just because of the fact that I just don't really trust that defense. I think that USC could blow it out, but I also really feel like Fresno State could very easily end up in that game right down to the end. So 10 points, 12 points, whatever it is, it went to 12. I believe it went to 12. So either way, I like it. I think that I would have probably went that way. I ended up staying off of it, but that's what just one of those deals. My last one that I guess we're going to go through because we've already talked about the rest of them. This one is I think this is generally a game that I would stay away from. But a week ago I did because of this. A week ago I told you that Baylor was going to go in there and lose to BYU. Now they did, but I did feel like, and I feel like this week could be a trap for BYU, except for the fact that I just don't think a lot of Oregon right now, and BYU's getting points. I feel like this is a motivated team. This is probably BYU's best team that they've had in years, and they have an opportunity if they run the table to get that at-large bid into the playoff. I see them going and not only covering the 3.5 they're getting. I think they win this ball game. I'd for sure like them to stay within 3.5. I mean that. You're going to have to beat them by 4. I feel like this is a big spot for BYU. I may like them more than a lot of people do. I just don't think a lot of Bo Nix, and I really don't think a lot of the changes that they're having to make at Oregon right now. I think in the long run, Dan Lanning's going to be fine. Right now, I don't think they're in great shape.
Hey, so this is my number 2 game. This is the game I was going to pick next. Last week, I was going against BYU and Baylor, and hey, I was dead wrong. And, sometimes you just got to repent when you make a mistake. And this time, I'm with you, bro. This is my second favorite game. All I wrote down was Bo Nix, and I wrote down Georgia. Because Bo Nix, I don't trust that guy to make a medium to deep pass at all. No accuracy. Yeah. And then this guy, Oregon played Georgia, and I know anyone would have got trashed by Georgia, but, man, they didn't show any life of being worth a dang, period. And for that, BYU, like you said, one thing I really like, this almost feels like a must-win for BYU. I know it's early in the season, but if they win this game, they are probably favorites. They could be in the playoffs.
They're trouble. Absolutely.
I like it. So
I'm
with you.
We talked about it before. They're wishing right now that they were moved into the Big 12 this year because of the fact that they love this team out there. This is a team that beat Utah a year ago when they won the Pac-12. BYU got their first win over Utah in a long time. They have been coming up with big. This is a nice team, man. This is a nice team.
Let's go.
The thing about BYU is because a lot of these guys have done their mission. By the time they get there, they've got experience. They're older, little smarter players. This is a good team, man. This is a really good team. So
I got to tell you something, Jason. I'm getting a little nervous, man, because we do this together. We disagree on everything. We throw it all in there, and we get our butts kicked. This time, we didn't do this together. I didn't know your picks. I didn't look at your picks. And we've only really had one disagreement, and I didn't even bet it. I would have bet South Alabama if I was going to lean on the UCLA-South Alabama game, but I couldn't bring myself to bet it. But other than that, we kind of agreed on all these games, man. And that I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We're about to find out.
So you got one left, right?
One more, my favorite.
One or two left that we haven't talked about? Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely. My favorite game. My favorite game, the game that I love the most, is Miami, Texas A&M. I'm taking Miami because, dude, Texas A&M has a terrible offense. Texas A&M has a terrible quarterback. Listen, this is why. You want to know one reason? Appalachian State, UNC had 500 yards passing, I think. Bro, this dude against App State threw for 100. UNC lit them up. They have no defense in the secondary. And this dude, Texas A&M and Jimbo, I don't even care. Give me Miami. Listen, it could be close. Miami's winning that game.
Okay. Hey, listen, me and Tonya were talking.
Bring it.
So see, I'm not with you guys on the U, and here's the reason. And what I would tell you is that I agree that Jimbo is a fraud. That's one of the things we're going to talk about next on our next part of the show. But I got to say, to me, I feel like all in all, he really, that offense is ridiculous. First off, when your best quarterback that you've had was Kevin Sumlin's guy, and right now, through the same amount of games, he has the exact same record that Sumlin had. And they still owe him $95 million. So he's not going anywhere. But I got to say, it's about time for him to give up play calling, something, and change that offense up, because something's going on there that when you get a guy that comes in from LSU, and then you have the guy that he's been playing, though, apparently, I guess that guy's dad is like on the board of directors or something at the school. Something.
One of those.
Because why the hell he didn't get the hook? Why the hell that guy didn't get the hook? I have no idea. He was awful.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, if you know, their defense definitely did it. I mean, they only gave up, 16, 17 points. And App State had put up 60 the week before. So it's not a defensive thing. And this is why I don't agree, because I believe that Miami, they're a year or two away. So I don't know that offensively they're going to put up a whole lot. I feel like when you lose a game like that, it's going to wake some things up. I think they're probably doing some different things. And I know that they're kind of messing around with two different quarterbacks. We'll figure it out. I think that talent-wise, A&M definitely has the edge at this point. So it's why I let the game alone, because I just don't trust Texas A&M. But it's why I left it alone. But if I was going to bet it, I would have been betting the other way. And so I can't trust them.
Did you see the way the Sharps? Did you see the way the Sharps moved that line though, from -9 to -5? They moved it 4
and so that's a lot of movement, man. That's a lot of movement, and it happened in a matter of minutes after that game was over with. So that that was a sharp play, and that's the casinos themselves deciding, no, we're not doing it.
Yeah, it's probably not even the Sharps now that I think about it. It probably is just the casinos after the loss. That's probably more.
It was the bookmakers that made that move. Yeah, that's the bookmakers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So
I still like it.
That's
bring it.
Here's my week 3 picks. Florida State, LSU, Georgia, BYU, the U, UCLA, and Texas Tech. You got them?
You're out of your freaking mind on that one. That one's a little crazy. I would go with USC before I went with Miami on that. But anyway.
Yeah, USC will be. I don't know. You never know. But,
Miami.
You know why I agree?
I like Mario Cristobal. I like Mario Cristobal, and I know they're dumping some money behind it. Now,
that's what I was going to say.
But
NIL might be right with NIL money.
A little early.
She might be right with NIL money. Think about the youth that time.
Yeah, that's true. But they've been picking in the top 10 recruits for the last 5 years, and 3 of those 5 years they've been in the top 5, and they have the best one. So depth-wise, that's the whole thing. The whole thing we talked about with Notre Dame the last couple of years is they're not picking at the same level as what LSU is year in, year out. This year they're in the top 5, but that's an anomaly really for Notre Dame. And if they're going to lose like they did a week ago, they're not looking good out of the block. So I don't know what's going to end up happening with Notre Dame. I'm hearing a lot of people might be flipping. So,
but Jason, one more thing to add to that. I mean, if we're talking Miami and we're talking Texas A&M, and you're saying Texas A&M's been getting better recruits, you're right, bro. But if I was ever going to just barely miss on recruits, I would like to miss on them in Miami, because those guys are crazy, crazy fast. It's not the speed state for nothing. And I mean, I don't care who you are, speed can whoop you.
That's fair.
And if your team is bad and can only score 100 passing yards, go ahead.
Yeah,
Must be delayed.
I don't get that at all. Yeah, because of North Carolina, being, I mean, if North Carolina can throw up 60 on you and all of a sudden, and they can't be better as far as skill guys are concerned than what they are at Texas A&M. There ain't no damn way, So yeah, it's just the reason I stayed away from the game, man. I just don't trust them, but I don't I know that skill-wise or talent-wise, A&M is better right now.
Should be.
And so if I was going to pick it, I would pick A&M, but I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. I think Jimbo's a fraud, and so that's just where I'm kind of at on it. All right, so give me your 7 just to make sure I have them all, or I'll give them to you, and then you tell me what you've got over on the UCLA Alabama State game. You've got South Alabama. Sorry, Texas Tech going on the road at NC State and covering. You and I both have BYU. You took the U at Texas A&M as well, getting 5. And then
LSU, Washington, and Fresno. I didn't hear any of those. LSU, Washington, and
Fresno. That's right. I just didn't write that one down. Okay. Yep. Gotcha. So Fresno State covering the, what is it now? I believe it's 12?
13.
Yeah, 30. Because it's dropping because of the betting. I think there are some people that are going with you. So anyway, yep, that's our 7. Listen, guys, take the ones that you like, and I mean, now you have 3 people that are going through this, that we're all bettors. We've all been doing it. Now together, it's weird, like you said, Bryce, that, we ended up in the same place in a lot of spots. There were a few that we didn't agree on. We're going to figure it out. But again, also, those were some that I just didn't want to pick. Again, I still feel like, I do better this way. So, hey, everybody, I want to say again, please like, subscribe, hit the button. It helps our algorithm. But and I hope you're paying attention to the weekly fantasy football picks for Bryce. This guy, hey, I'm going to tell you, folks, the dude, a monster first week in fantasy football. Called it perfectly on the Cam Akers thing 2 days before. He's telling everybody to dump him, and everybody's giving him all kinds of hell about it. And what happens? The dude don't play. Or I mean, what did he have, a carry or two? But I mean, he
played. He just didn't start. So Darrell Henderson, the value that you would have had, the value that you would have had, because everybody thought he was going to be a starter, went to nothing after that game. So, you better have been paying attention to the guy. Then, the funny one, man, that next on Saturday, he tells us about Zach Ertz's mom telling him that Zach's going to play in the game. He beats Adam Schefter by 5 hours on that deal, and everybody's giving him crap until Schefter comes out with it too. Hey, if you want to win, you better follow Bryce. This guy knows fantasy football in a way that most people do not. He sees angles that most people don't see. He's a pro. So if you want to win, follow him. Hey, get right on this one. I can tell you now, this betting is about to take a major turn our way. I'm going to also do a show on Saturday for the NFL picks as well, just one on my own. So I'm going to jump on and do a quick my favorite picks for Sunday football. And so look for that as well. Jason said he actually even picks a higher percentage at NFL. So be on the lookout for that. And I believe him, man. Every time we would talk when he was in Vegas, he was always winning money on the NFL. I don't remember him, on college, but I do remember him always winning money on the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope everybody enjoys it. Hey, put your money out. Let's make some money this weekend, and we'll see you on the next one.